O'Sullivan is an aeronautical research scientist for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, commonly referred to as NASA. His official title is Assistant to the Division Chief of the Applied Materials and Physics Division of NASA, which is the organization that carries out the civilian portion of the United States space program. Mr. O'Sullivan's most recent assignment for NASA was being in charge of the team that set up the Explorer 9 satellite. And his secret is, of course, that he has an Earth satellite in that bag. This is really amazing. You ready? Here it comes.
By George. Oh, that's the folded bill?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I must say it doesn't look like much. It seems to be just a package of aluminum foil, sir.
That's what it is, Gary. Aluminum foil and plastic film.
And plastic film, laminated, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, Mr. O'Sullivan, you've joined me center stage now, and we'll see how this thing is put into orbit. Here we are. Now, here is a similar satellite packed tightly into this cylinder. How does this cylinder launch, sir?
This is launched by our new solid propellant rocket vehicle, which we call the Scout. This is the front end that carries the satellite, and when it goes into orbit, the satellite slides out of this cylinder and is inflated.
Now, let me show you what it is inflated by. You see this metal sphere here? This contains gas. What kind of gas, sir?
It's nitrogen gas, Gary.
Nitrogen gas, and it is triggered by remote control and blows up this satellite. Now, to show you what can be accomplished by the gas contained in a sphere this size, let's actually see one blown up. And keep in mind that what you're going to see is at this moment traveling around the world, the Earth, 12 times per day. Will you open up the curtains, please, and let's take a look at it. There it is. Now, Mr. O'Sullivan, of course, we all see the silver foil, which makes up most of the surface, but we can't help but notice the white polka dot effect. What does that achieve?
That achieves the proper thermal balance, Gary, when it is in orbit. So it doesn't get too hot or too cold.
I see, because if it became too hot, it would expand and perhaps burst, right?
It would degenerate, let's say.
All righty. Now, I want to point out to you, friends, that there are no instruments either inside the sphere. The sphere is completely hollow, nor are there any instruments suspended from it. So, in effect, this is the instrument itself, correct?
That is right, Gary. It is the instrument, and it measures the density of the Earth's atmosphere on the borders of space by measuring the resistance that it produces on the satellite. And this resistance is determined by the rate at which the satellite spirals back to Earth, gradually losing altitude.
Well, now, also, in other words, there is some resistance, even up in space, right?
Yes, it's a very minute resistance. And if it were not for this resistance, the satellite would stay in orbit forever. So we have to measure this minute resistance in order to determine how high we must fly satellites and space stations in the future so that they will stay in orbit long enough to do their job.
Well, sir, let me ask you this. I didn't get a chance to ask you before the show. To the camera, this looks so huge, so formidable, so solid. Would it hurt at all if I were to topple it off of its little pedestal?
No.
It wouldn't?
Hurt it at all.
Now, watch this. The size of this thing is 12 feet high. Now, watch. Just... And imagine that's hurtling around the Earth 12 times every day, as fragile as it is. It withstands all of that. Boy, I want to tell you, we are very happy to have you on our side, sir. Thank you very much.